Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. I'm trying to juggle two puppies at one time. This is Sunny. This is Happy. They're actually biting my fingers. If you see me wince, it's because the little guy bit my finger. But anyways, we are with Matt, the mortgage guy. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Mike. Sounds like I need to buy you some dog chew toys.
Some chew toys, man. These guys, yeah. Especially the little one, she is definitely teething. My goodness. So we need a Matt, the mortgage guy, dog treat or something.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea for a piece of swag. If people have pets, then throw that in their swag.
Yeah, come on, work on it, man. I tell you. So anyways, again, you are now nationwide. You have no idea how happy I am that you are nationwide. So many people wanted to work with you over the last year, but you were just California.
Yeah.
You have now fixed it, right?
I fixed it. Yeah. And the good news is in the past, I tried to do my best with referring folks to someone who's going to take care of them out of state. Sometimes it works. Sometimes
it wasn't you, man. Come on, let's just be clear.
Yeah. And just having control over the process, right? Where I know there's going to be a certain standard of service with this move to you mortgage, I'm fully aligned. And the goal is just to serve and help people.
Yeah.
Right. And so
awesome.
I can't tell you how many people that we've talked to where the advice has nothing to do with gaining more business.
No, yeah.
It's a good spot to be in a business where it's like, we're busy enough, we'll do fine. Whether we get 4 deals out of every 10 people that come to us or 2, right? And we can give good advice based on what's good for the consumer long-term. So we're going to do that at scale. We're going to do it nationwide. All you got to do is go to greatmortgagebroker.com. We got a team dedicated to, once you fill out that form and tell us, I'm in this state, I'm looking to do this, you're going to get a phone call, an email, a text. How can we help? What are you looking to do? And then steer you in the right direction with the folks that can help you out.
Yeah. And let him know you came from one rental at a time. It always shows him that being a part of this channel weekly is worth his time. So I would appreciate if you told him you came from one rental at a time. So topic number 3 today, I saw this scary stat and I'm like, you know what? I'm talking to Matt today. I'm going to share it with you live. And then we're going to talk about it. You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
So this is debt, average debt by generation, not including mortgage. So it's credit card, student loans, personal debt, like signature debt, and auto loans. Okay. You ready?
Okay.
So Generation Z, right? The young generation, their average actually isn't bad. It's 16 grand. And I'm going to round instead of taking it out to the dollar. So $16,000. Generation Z, what is up to like 26 or 27, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say they haven't had enough time to rack up that yet. So
yeah, they're just starting.
Some time, Mike.
So bad. Okay, but the next millennials. This one shocked me. Any guess? Millennials? Again, not including mortgage.
My gut tells me that it's not as high as we think. I think there's a lot of debt conscious millennials. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe only the stuff that lives in my ecosystem where I only follow the smart people. I only follow the ones that are
they got zero debt. So what do you think? What do you want to just take a wild guess?
If Z has 16 and millennials, I guess millennials are like up to 40 now, right?
Right. Pretty close.
So maybe they've got like 40,000 or between 40 and 50.
87,500.
Oh man, I was off, right? I had so much faith in millennials. I'm like on the cusp.
Student loans, 39 grand.
Yeah, that's the problem. Half of it is those darn student loans.
Yeah. All right. This is my generation, Gen X. So a little bit older, had some more time to pay off stuff if we had it early. What do you think?
You should be in better shape than millennials, is my hope.
No.
Wrong. God, wrong. I'm terrible at this game.
You're horrible at this game.
Okay, so you've had more time to accumulate more debt.
You've had more time to have more income to have more debt.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
$141,000.
Wow.
45K of student debt.
So
you have more student debt.
So Gen X is probably like what, 40 to 55-year-olds or something?
I think, well, I am a Gen X. I think it's like 44 to 56 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
why 45 grand? I mean, that's what I had when I graduated. I think I had like 48, but wow, they wow. The average
I can confirm that we run credit reports and I'm like, you're 57. When did you graduate college?
Yeah. Did you go back?
Right. They allow you to continue to defer it. And the worst part of it, Mike, is when they're adding interest to it along the way. Oh, it's like you borrowed 80,000. Now you owe 175. Like, Oh,
my God. Well, there you go. That shocked me.
That's a whole nother video, student loan debt. So we'll leave that there.
Well, okay. So now baby boomers, right? Near retirement, in retirement. What are we thinking?
Baby boomers. Okay, so we're excluding the mortgage debt.
Yeah, no mortgage.
I gotta remember. They shouldn't have as much student loan debt. They shouldn't have as much like fancy car bling debt. Let's hope that baby boomers are under 100.
They are 97. 97.
Ooh, good for
you
baby
got
boomers.
it. You nailed it.
Yeah, 1 out of 4. I did all right. I'm batting 250. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's a decent baseball.
Yeah, it's not. You probably stay employed if you're 250. Yeah. So what I wanted to ask you about again is you see lots of credit reports, certainly more than I've ever seen. You probably see more in a week than I've ever seen. Do these numbers shock you? Like when you see these numbers?
You know what? Like, I think about at least, like periods of life, right? Like when people are in their 40s, I think is when they buy their biggest house.
Okay.
They're earning the most income. They're buying their biggest house. But like the keeping up with the Joneses is real, right? Like this consumerism and buying stuff on debt.
$141,000 in stupid debt.
Right. Right. And that's the thing too, is like, this is a cool metric to look at because it's excluding mortgage debt.
Yes.
Where you can say like, that's an appreciating asset. That's good debt.
Yeah.
So this is all bad debt.
All bad debt.
And
what do you think the average rate is on all this stuff? Credit cards, student loans, personal debt, auto loans? Gotta be, average has got to be 8 or 9, right?
I was going to say 8 was going to be my guess because student loans might be 3 to 5, cars might be low like that as well. And then you've got like the 15% credit cards. And unfortunately, I see a ton of credit reports and like, it's so hard to swim upstream when you've got $40,000 in 15% debt. Like
you just can't.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
And, I guess the silver lining with this huge increase in real estate is the people who own homes are able to do really cool stuff with debt consolidation.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. I didn't plan to go here because I didn't know where this would go. I think about a baby boomer. That's where I was thinking. I'm like, baby boomer probably own a home. They probably own it for decades, right? Probably. They've seen record appreciation. And part of me is like, let's say they got like 12 years left and, the balance is, I don't know, 25% of the value. Cause again, they've had appreciation also. Do they refi it? Cause again, back to video 2, they're employed. So they get the best rates.
Yeah.
Do they refi whack it? What do they do?
I think so. And like, I had an interesting conversation with somebody who was talking about reverse mortgages and how they might have a bigger market share in the future just because of how people are living and whatnot. But, not regarding reverse mortgages, but in my eyes, if you take somebody and let's just do a hypothetical scenario that is, a baby boomer and they're 60 and maybe they're nearing retirement. If they owe, they're down to 112 in what they owe, right? And the house is worth 600, like you talked about. They've got plenty of equity. If they've got a bunch of this nasty debt, $97,000 worth of it, more than likely they're that far along, they can refinance, pull out 100, not to go blow on something, but to pay off all that debt.
Yeah.
Their payment is going to stay the same. And here's where, like, I'm always trying to be honest with folks. Yes, when you pull out 100,000, you owe 100,000 more. True. Yes, when you go from 12 years to 30 years, you spread out that time horizon and you're going to pay more interest over time. Okay, fine. But when you think about it from the perspective of quality of life, and this person goes from a $1,200 mortgage payment and $1,500 in this crap debt payment, and they're stressed, they're paycheck to paycheck, and you provide something that says, here's how we're going to restructure it. You might, to be quite honest, die with debt on this house. So you restretch it out to 30 years and you pass away 22 years from now. What my thought process is most people who are being, handed down these homes, if I were to receive a home and there's $80,000 left on it versus being free and clear, but my parent lived a better life with less stress and was able to travel, was able to, pay medical bills to make sure that like those last years were good ones. Great.
Yeah.
right? Like, and that's the thing too, for a lot of people, it's not like this race to pay off a house.
Yeah, the mortgage burning parties or what they were called before.
Yeah. And then it's like, sure, there's some people that are on that path and that's their goal. But for a lot of other people, it's like, let's figure out a financial structure and a game plan that makes like life really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to agree with you. Back to that earlier example, right? 1,200 in mortgage, 1,800 in junk. If you refi it, now you have a 1,200 mortgage, but more years, granted, all that stuff, but you've got rid of the 1,800. So don't take out extra would be my advice, right? Take out the 100 in our example, or 97, pay it off, and then don't rack it up again. That's what I've seen so many people do, my parents included, right? We lived in California. We had a couple of years of appreciation. They would take it out. Like they borrowed from the house to pay for my sister's education, for example.
Yeah. One more thing too that I just thought about too is in that same scenario, maybe the plan is I want to have this house paid off in 8 years. Okay. Well, then you refinance. You can even take it to a 30-year with the plan of all that debt's gone. I'm going to throw 1,800 at the principal.
Extra. Yeah.
Now it probably pays off in 8 or 9 instead of 12.
Yeah.
So do that.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a better game plan from a, financial advising perspective, because now you don't have 112 in mortgage debt and 100 in crappy debt. You've got 210 in mortgage debt. Aggressively pay it off. Use that 1,800 you used to pay towards the high interest debt, towards the mortgage. It's going to pay off in 8. Then if life happens and life changes and you've got other things you could do with that 1,800 that are more important, then do that.
Make the choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the things you brought up is just because I think it might be a mental shift for some people just saying, hey, I'm going to, instead of being free and clear when I go, I'm going to owe some money. But you got to think about the quality of life you're living now, right? There are a lot of people that are living on ramen noodles or whatnot because of the debt structure is wrong. Use the asset, refi it. You still historically low rates. And you really could have a better life, but don't be stupid again. You're running out of time.
Right. Well, that's the thing too, is don't pay off the 100, refinance, and then rack up another new 100 because, trust me, I've seen plenty of those too. Where it's,
me too. Me too. So
$5,000 a month in QVC purchases.
Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah. What are you doing? So I really appreciate this. Again, folks, if you are in this situation, you want to talk to someone and just have an honest discussion, across all 50 states now, Matt, the mortgage guy, greatmortgagebroker.com. Any closing thoughts?
Nope. Just that. Just contact us at greatmortgagebroker.com. It's quick. I promise you should be able to do it in 30 seconds. I had somebody from the channel reach out because they had heard, I was like, you can do it in 27 seconds. They're like, Matt, I think I did it in 14. They were proud of themselves. So it's, I'm not asking for your blood type or for anything like that. I just need, where you're at, what you're looking to do so we can help, put that in the right lane to help you out.
Yeah. And I hope to hear from Matt later in the day that one rental at a time really reached out today, because you have been asking for all 50 states and now he has delivered. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.